All right, this piece is for my fellow producers, whether you've been doing it for a minute or if you're a newbie producer. I get a lot of questions about how to pull the best energy out of talent. And just for background, I'm a video producer who interviews primarily celebrities and artists. And so real talk, when you're like the 100th stop on their press run, it can be really hard to pull out some great energy for your piece from a lot of these celebrities or artists. And so these strategies are strategies that I've been implementing for a few years. They work for me, so I'm gonna share them with you. I hope that they inspire and work for you and help you to create a dope piece. Number one, research is extremely important. And I know you might be thinking, duh, like, of course I'd have to do research. But when I mention research, I mean diving very deep, not only into the topics that you're gonna be talking about in your interview, but also things that genuinely interest you as a person, not as the producer. And I'm gonna get to that and tell you why. But that's important. In addition to that, you wanna find things that you guys can relate on. So does this person also love to work out? Are they presently on a fitness journey? Did they just have a child like you? Are they also from the same country as your parents? Did they just recently visit an ice cream shop that you love? Or they just picked up an ice cream flavor that just happened to be your favorite flavor? Nothing is too little and nothing is too big. Just remember that, okay? Now, the reason why you wanna research things that are of interest to you as a person, not as a producer, is because it'll all create opportunities for conversation. Just remember that, okay? You're gonna need that for one of my upcoming tips. Number two is gonna sound a little silly, but it is very important for you to think about what you wear that day. Why? Because the themes of everything that I am going to mention is being relatable and making everything conversational. So when I talk about what you wear, you wanna look like someone who's relatable to them. Now, I'm not saying that if you have someone who is focused on rock and roll, you're gonna be dressing like a rocker. Like, that doesn't make sense, okay? You wanna do what's organic, but if there is an opportunity to just appear as if you are more relatable to them, then go with that. And I know some people are gonna come in, the haters are gonna come in. So I'll give you an example. So for me, I dress different ways, right? I might wear sneakers one day. I even wear sweats to work sometime, like cute sweats, you know? I also can dress it up. I'll wear a dress. It depends on who I'm interviewing though. And so I have a range, as you can see. I move from sneakers, more street focused gear to more dressy, all right? So if I'm interviewing someone who tends to dress up more, I'm gonna like tap into my little fashionable bag, you know? And if I know that there are items or statement pieces that create conversation, I'm gonna wear those, okay? So you know the pieces in your closet that create conversation, whether they be sneakers. If it's a sneakerhead, put on those best pair of sneakers, the ones that nobody else could get, that artist is gonna look at or that celebrity's gonna look at and be like, yo, how'd you get those? It's creating a conversation. It's being relatable because that person too is into sneakers and now you guys are having a conversation about it. If you have a dope head wrap, for example, I get a lot of questions about my head wraps, hence me posting on Instagram where I got them from. You wanna know? Follow me on Instagram. But that's a conversational piece. That head wrap is a beautiful color. Where did you get that from? Those are the things that I would wear when I know it's going to be a conversational piece and I know it's relatable. Sounds crazy, but it works because the themes are, once again, to be relatable and to create conversation. Okay, number three is very, very common. And I was guilty of it at one point, but now that I'm aware, unfortunately, like I notice it anytime someone does it and it's just really bad, okay? Responding to the answers that the celebrity gives you or the person you're interviewing gives you with just, okay, great, okay, thank you, and moving on to the next question. The reason why you don't want to do that is because that's not natural, right? What are our themes again? Conversational, relatable, right? So let's say you're interviewing someone about an album that they just dropped and they're talking about how they went upstate just to write this album, to make it that special. Your answer and your response to that wouldn't just be okay, because if this is a friend telling you about this project that they just dropped and how they went all the way upstate just to do it, you'd have a lot more to say, right? So this is where we tie in the research mentioned from point number one, where I said, like, write down the things that interest you. These are the subtopics within your topics, just little things that interest you. Let's say you were researching this person and you found that upstate, they happen to stay at the same hotel that you had been eyeing for a vacation location. You're gonna bring that up right now. That's so awesome. I saw that you were at that blah, blah, blah hotel. They have the most amazing pools, and the decor there would absolutely inspire my creativity too. Just little things like that. It doesn't have to be that deep, and there will be opportunities to go much deeper, trust me. And when it happens, it's amazing because these are the things that kind of allow the person you're interviewing to let their guard down. They start to get comfortable, you start to notice it in their body language, and that's when you get the really good content that helps you to produce an awesome piece. Number 4. The interview starts the moment they walk through the door, okay? And when I say that, I mean that that's an opportunity for you to start creating the energy in the room, all right? They're going to play off of you. This is when you're gonna pull once again on that research you did to find those notes where you guys can relate. You'll bring up, if they're a sneakerhead too, and you just saw that they posted something on Twitter about some sneakers you're aware of. I'm not a sneakerhead, so I don't know that stuff. You're gonna bring this up then. Yo, I saw that you got the blah, 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 blahs. That person is naturally gonna talk. Anytime you talk to someone about something that they're interested in, that they're truly passionate about, they will have a response, unless they're in a bad mood. And in that case, I don't know what you could say. I would say don't give up, but don't push too hard if someone's in a bad mood. I've definitely been able to pull people out of bad moods, but you have to give them their space, but still like, you still keep talking to them, still keep finding those relatable points, and people like to talk about themselves, so follow that theme basically. So now, even while the crew is setting up, they're framing them, you are going to keep talking to them. You don't look down at your notes and wait for when it's time, when we yell action and we're rolling. No, you talk to them the whole time until it's time to shoot, okay? Of course, in between checking with the crew, how many, 5 more minutes? We starting soon? You can do that stuff, that's great, but touch on those relatable points. At the very least, ask them, so how was your day? Or how was the last interview? Or is this your first interview of the day? That's a great question that I ask a lot of people. Is this the first interview of your day? Nah, it's not. I actually got to sleep in today and blah, blah. Wait, you woke up at 2 o'clock? I'm jealous. And the conversation starts, you get me? Or the response can be, yeah, man, I've already done like 20 of them already. 20? What? Yo, bless your soul. Thank you so much for making it here for this interview. We appreciate you. That, once again, helps bring up the energy. Anytime you show someone appreciation is bringing up the energy. So I guess that's another theme. Anything that brings up the energy, you want to go for that. Now, it's really important to channel your energy. What kind of energy are you giving off? Now, you might be a mellow person, but you're gonna have to shake out of that for this. And I'm not telling you to channel an energy that's unnatural to you, but I have several different sides of me. You'll get this side of Chazine, you'll get the super chill, yeah, hey, okay, yeah, and not with an attitude, but I just can be very mellow, very monotone. But when I know I'm interviewing somebody, I gotta prep it up as if I'm gonna be on camera. Oh yeah, what? Because they channel your energy. And if you don't believe me, try it and you will see the difference. But your job until they say rolling, action, or take one, is to channel the energy, bring it up to where you need it to be, all right? And by the way, that does not end when you yell cut, okay? You keep going even until they leave the room, because at that point, it's about the impression that you're making. It's about whether or not they'll wanna come back, and it's about whether or not they'll request to work with you, and it's about what they'll say about you once they leave that room. Because I've definitely had talent reps say to me, or say to our representative, they really enjoyed that interview, or that was one of the best interviews that they've had. That artist loved talking to her, etc. And you know what happens at that point? When they come back, you get that interview. Or when you see them again, you're at another company, oh, hey, what's up? Hey, Chazzy. Maybe they don't remember your name, but they remember the energy that they felt from you. Just once again, great content, all right? So it does not start, it does not stop once you yell cut. Keeps going until they leave the room. Remember that. Number 5, if you have to do liners, and for those who don't know, it's for a promotion if you're doing when you say, make sure you tune in to BET to catch the blah, 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 blah. Those are liners. I personally suggest that you say the liner the way you want it to be said. Now you can feed them the line like, and they might be reading the teleprompter, but I still like to read the line to them sometimes. It depends. If they're flubbing or if they get it right away, you can let them do their thing. But most people struggle on liners. So for all you new artists out there, you new celebrities, like do not feel discouraged, new talent, Don't feel discouraged when you mess up liners. Like, you're not a host, it's fine. You're not the only person. Just about 90% of celebrities I've interviewed mess up the liners all the time. But for my producers, you wanna say it the way you want the energy. So the example that I mentioned, make sure you tune in to blah, 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 blah to catch the blah, 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 blah. I would say it like that versus make sure you tune in to catch the blah, 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 blah. Now, if you say it that way, I don't think necessarily they'll repeat it back that way, but it comes out so much better when you give them the energy that you need, you know? Because just naturally, human nature, you'll just mimic that to a certain extent. Of course, it has to match their style, right? They're not gonna jump into a different persona, but that is my advice. Now, here's the bonus that I promised you. Do not ask basic interview questions, okay? When I say basic interview questions, once again, these people, if they're running a press run, they have been, or even if they're not doing a press run, they've been in the limelight for so many years, so much time. Even if it's been a year, they've done a ton of these shoots, okay? You are not the first. And so you asking the same questions that everyone else is asking is boring. Not only is it boring, but it speaks to your talents and it's not a good reflection, you know? They might not say you're a whack producer, but they ain't gonna be bragging about you. So I just encourage you to look deeper and think about your angle and think about the questions that you can ask that are different from what everyone else is gonna be asking. Even if it's something as simple, we're talking about an album, right? You don't need to ask the same basics like, so what was this about? So what was this blah, blah, blah. Why don't you research what it was about and then ask questions about that and dive much deeper and see how what the album was about relates, how that relates to their life, what might have inspired it. Ask those deeper questions. Google what you can. Ask the basic questions that you maybe need to, because you might just need to have them on camera, but then have those follow-ups that are really deep that then makes the person sit up and pay attention to you because you're giving them something different to talk about. You've actually like elevated their day. Thank you. All right. So that is the bonus. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I have a whole producer series. Click the like button if you want me to do more videos like this, or comment below and let me know, because I'm not sure. I don't know how many producers follow me, but if it was helpful, let me know so I can do more. You like that video? Make sure you check out this one. Catch y'all later.